Yo, what is up guys, Boy here. So Josh Kelly defeats Winston Campos by a unanimous decision, but I've got to say I was expecting a lot more from Josh Kelly in this fight. Obviously Josh Kelly has been out of the ring since June 1st. June 1st he obviously fought Ray Robinson to a draw, not a great performance. In fact, a lot of people felt he lost that fight. And coming into this fight I was expecting a bit of a statement from Josh Kelly, and while he won this fight and won pretty much every round, for me he didn't really look that convincing, and going forwards there are a few areas in his game that need addressing, and if he does step up in the near future I do kind of worry for him. I can't lie. Winston Campos, he's a capable journeyman, he's quite tricky, he's quite awkward, but when this guy stepped up, he's always lost, and he's been knocked out. The guy used to fight at super lightweight, and he fought 2 step-up fights against Ismael Barroso and Josh Taylor. In both fights, he got blown away. While in this fight, jumping up a weight class, he comfortably survived. So what does that really say about Josh Kelly's power and his standing in the welterweight division? I mean, the performance... First couple of rounds, actually, Campos came to fight. First round, he landed some nice jabs and a couple of good straight lefts. Campos was in that southpaw stance, flicking that jab, looking for that 1-2, and he caught Josh Kelly a couple of times. Josh Kelly also got some of his own work off in round 1, and I would say he shaded the rounds, but he really struggled to find his distance and find the space to land his punches. So round 1 was the most competitive round in this fight. Round 2 was also fairly competitive. Again, Campos landing some good jabs. He actually caused a bit of damage on Josh Kelly. He gave him a slight cut on the bridge of the nose and also a slight cut above his eye. So he was actually landing some shots and he was having some success. So the first couple of rounds, Campos actually came to give it a go. But after the second round, Josh Kelly kind of took over and he started to pick his spots and kind of outpoint Winston Campos. Kelly was landing that lead right hand, and that was a shot he was landing throughout this fight. That was his best punch in this fight, and he was just really picking Campos off. As the rounds went on, I felt Campos was more content to survive than actually really give it a go. There were a few exchanges when Campos would throw with Josh Kelly, and in those exchanges, Josh Kelly got the best of them. But again, Campos landed some good shots here and there. But yeah, as this fight went on, Campos, his ambition really started to fade, and it looked like he was just trying to survive. And in that instance, you would expect Josh Kelly to really push on and step through the gears and try to get the stoppage. But that's not really what happened here. It looked like Josh Kelly was just content to pick his spots and, land his shots and not really go for the stoppage. And that was disappointing. I really wanted to see Josh Kelly go for the gusto and to get this guy out of there, because the guy's been knocked out before in lower weight classes. So the guy's there to be stopped, basically. He's there to make A-level prospects look good. And Josh Kelly didn't look great in this fight, it's got to be said. And I've always felt Josh Kelly isn't as good as the Sky Sports team would have you believe. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter, because I think at domestic level Josh Kelly would be a threat, but above that level, that's when it gets interesting. I mean, they're talking about a fight with David Avanesian next. David Avanesian, of course, is the welterweight European champion, very experienced, tough, brings good pressure. That's a hell of a tough fight for Josh Kelly and a hell of a step up. If Josh Kelly could win that fight, I would give him a lot of credit, to be honest, because I think that's a really, really tough fight. And given the flaws Josh Kelly does have, it is going to be a tough fight. It really is. Defensively, Josh Kelly at times, yes, he's got some nice flashy head movement, nice flashy foot movement, but he still gets caught. He gets careless, he squares up, and, he kind of sometimes puts himself in bad positions as well with his over-exuberant footwork. It's all well and good spinning your opponent and, doing all of these fancy tricks, but sometimes Josh Kelly gets himself in trouble. And as he steps up, that could get exposed. You know, we saw that get exposed in parts of a Ray Robinson fight. And David Avanesian is certainly a guy who can capitalise on some of Josh Kelly's defensive mistakes. You know, Josh Kelly, also, I'm not really convinced of his stamina. I mean, he himself said in that Ray Robinson fight in the second half, he was really feeling it, hence why he was becoming more flat-footed and easier to hit. David Avanesian, he's going to force a much harder pace than Ray Robinson. David Avanesian is front foot heavy, he'll apply pressure, he'll try and work that body, and he'll try and grind you down. If you're gassing out against Ray Robinson in a 10-rounder, then against an all-action guy like David Avanesian in a 12-rounder, it doesn't really fill you with confidence. So that Avanesian fight is extremely interesting. I certainly wouldn't rule Josh Kelly out. I think it's a really competitive fight. Avanesian is a bona fide European level fighter. Josh Kelly, in my opinion, is certainly a domestic level fighter. Can he make that step up and compete at European level? I would say he can certainly compete, but can he beat guys like David Avanesian? That's the million-dollar question. I think that fight will answer a lot of questions about Josh Kelly in regards to where he's really at in his career and what his potential ceiling may be. I don't want to be too down or too critical of Josh Kelly, but I've just got to say how I feel about the matter, and I'm really not convinced. I haven't been since the guy turned pro. I think his style will lead him into a lot of problems as he steps up. I just don't think he's good enough to pull off that style, if I'm being completely honest. It takes a special fighter to fight in the way Josh Kelly fights. You know, if we look at the guys who successfully did it, the likes of Roy Jones Jr., Prince Nassim Hamed, you know, these type of guys, even Sergio Martinez, another guy in that type of style. Is Josh Kelly anywhere close to those guys in terms of level and ability? I don't think so. You know, if you fight that style, I think you certainly need to have world-class punching power. And I don't think Josh Kelly has that, to be honest. I really don't. But there we go. Josh Kelly wins. He beats Winston Campos via a unanimous decision. I wasn't particularly impressed by the performance, but what do I know? I'm just some clown who sits and talks about boxing on the internet. There we go. Share your thoughts below. What did you think of the performance? Peace.